course. Um, do we have Sarfaraj Khan attending the session? Yeah, Sarfaraj Khan, hi. Just emailed me. You emailed me maybe yesterday, I'm not sure. But today I gave you a reply, right? Yeah. Yesterday you sent me it in the evening, in the night. Okay. So you're complaining that there is a JSON syntax exception where number format exception is there. So expected a long but was 445.5 at line 1 column 6099 path items dot sale info dot list price dot amount.
Recording in
Right.
progress.
So let me share my screen. Yeah. Here if you see in the items, meaning in the model classes, okay, you also put data in a separate folder. That is wrong. So this one should be moved inside this folder. Okay, this one data should be moved inside this folder, and also on the items.saleinfo.list price item, sorry, list price, in the list price class, which is here, you have a variable called amount, and that amount should be changed to double. Okay, then your issue will be resolved. Please try it out. Okay, so coming to Kotlin, today we will talk about Kotlin. Kotlin is a um, programming language that is developed by JetBrains. No problems at first time. That is developed by JetBrains. So JetBrains is the company which is also developing Android Studio. Okay, Kotlin is useful for development of Android applications and also web projects. Kotlin is loosely tied, or sorry, Kotlin is derived from Java, and also it is deriving a few features from Python. Kotlin is both functional and object oriented, whereas Java is only object oriented. The unfortunate thing about Kotlin is that it is relying on Java virtual machine to give you the output. So without Java, there is no Kotlin. Okay, please do remember this point. So for practicing the Kotlin programs, we will be creating a project. In Android Studio, we get to execute Kotlin programs also. Okay, you can select no activity, hit next. You can choose the Java as, sorry, you can choose Kotlin as the programming language. You can now say Kotlin practice. Yeah, Kotlin practice. You can hit on finish to create the project. So please do select Kotlin as the language. Otherwise, you will not get a chance to execute a couple of programs on Kotlin. Now you may ask me, another important question that you will ask me is, where do we learn Kotlin? If at all, if we are interested, where do we learn Kotlin? Kotlin basics and application. Application basics. So the first go-to step is kotlinlang.org. So this is the official website for Kotlin. The official website for Kotlin programming language is this. Okay. I'm also putting that in the links only. Next, in this links, you will get to see a lot of things. You can actually download um, a few softwares that will help you to run Kotlin programs. However, if you have Android Studio, nothing else is required. You can practice Kotlin programs directly into this Android Studio and get the output. Okay. So there is a very good website. This is a very good website. You can go through it. And you see the latest version is 1.8.10. You can jump into docs now. And in the docs, you can jump into basics, the basic syntax of Kotlin. Okay. So the official website for documents. So documents for learning Kotlin programming language. This putting it in the link. So here you jump into the basics and see the basic syntax. It has the same syntax as that of Java. The import statements are as similar as that of Java. And with the Java libraries can directly be used in Kotlin. Okay. So the program entry point, just like your Java program, the entry point for a program is the main function, Okay. Inside the main function, you can write anything that you want to write and it gets executed. Okay. This is the form of main function. You can execute the program directly here by hitting on this play button and you'll get the output. Similarly, you can try this in the app itself. When it is created, you can try it in the app itself. Right click, go to new, choose Kotlin class R file and create a file. We'll call it practice1. Now you can write a function called main. And inside this, you can actually print ln. You know the difference between print and println, right? Hello world. So there is no need of putting a semicolon. Even if you put a semicolon, that is not considered. But in Python, if you put a semicolon, it is considered as an error. However, in Kotlin, it is not considered as an error. There is no need of putting the semicolon at the end of each statement. If you want to put it, based on your practice, if you want to put it, you can put it. Now you can simply hit on this run and that executes this program for you. It will take some time for you to execute the program as it is the first time that you are doing it. But once you execute the first program, the other programs can be executed very, very easily. Okay, no problem. So maybe there is a problem with this package name. Okay, in is a keyword in Kotlin. That is the problem. It is put in tab marks. No problem. We'll execute this program once again. See, you got hello world as the output, right? In a similar way, if you want to append some other statement to the existing one, you can use print and you can still write hello world first time. You'll get both these things printed on the same line because, they'll get printed in the separate lines. Because you have a ln statement here, which gives a backslash n at the end of this first line. This one can be put, if you cut it out here, and if you put it here and run the program, you get to see both the things printed in the same line. First time hello world, that's how it is. That is the difference between ln and print statements. Okay. Now let us see other basics of Kotlin. You can also allow command line arguments for your programs. You can do that with the help of this, but this is not mandatory. Previously, before Kotlin 1.3, it was mandatory. From Kotlin 1.3, there is no need of giving command line arguments if you do not need them in reality. So we understood the print statement. Now let us understand the functions. Let us say you have a function. Let us say you have another function called addition. Okay. You are allowing two variables. A of integer and B of type integer. You don't want to return anything. If you do not want to return anything, you can write unit there. Instead of void, we use unit. Now, what all you need to do is println, okay, the sum of A and B is $A plus B. Semicolon is not required. So from here, you can call addition by sending some values 12 and 13. If you run the program, you will get an output called the sum of 12 and 13 is 25. Right? So dollar represents a variable. So if you have a if you have a expression to evaluate, you're supposed to give it inside the curly brackets or code blocks. They are in reality, they are called as code blocks, but we call it as curly braces, right? So if you want to return some value out of this method, let us say print the addition of two numbers. However, I'm going to return integer here. And instead of println, what I'll write is return A plus B. Now you run the program, you'll get the same output, but you'll only get 25 as the output. Okay. So if you want to return something, you'll write it of the function name. And in Kotlin, all the data types, they start with capital letters because they are all classes. We do not have primitive data types in Kotlin. So one more thing to understand, there are no primitive data types in Kotlin. Primitive data types in Kotlin. Because every variable starts with capital letter only. So that is about functions in Kotlin. If you further scroll down, you will see the variables. Okay, there are two variables, guys. In Kotlin, there are two variables. Read-only local variables are defined using the val keyword, and they can be assigned a value at once. Okay. Also, you have variables that can be reassigned using the var keyword. If you want the variables to be reassigned with values, you create it as var. So val is immutable and var is mutable. Simply, val is immutable. Value cannot be changed. Once it is assigned. Whereas variable var is mutable. So value can change anytime. Okay. So these two kinds of variables we have. And we also have something called type inference. This in Kotlin, we don't require the variable type to be defined. Okay. When you assign the value to a variable, its type is defined. Its type will be defined. Example. What is the example? Let us say for the same example, val a is equal to 12. I did not specify that val a is an integer. Now val b is equal to 13. Okay, semicolon is not required. However, if you put it also, that is not a problem. I am sending a and b. Let us suppose. If you execute the program, you will get the same output. We did not define the type here, but if you explicitly want to define the type, you can write integer here. Even then, there won't be any change. If you run the program, it will execute the same. It will give you the same results. However, if you want to reinitialize the value of a val, you will get an error. See, there is an error here. It is saying val cannot be reassigned because it is immutable, cannot change it. But if you define the variable b as var, and now you write b is equal to 14, it will still take. The output will change now. The output will be 26 as of now, right? So that is the basic difference between val and var. So to create a class, this is how you create it. And there is no extends keyword. There is only colon that defines the extends keyword. So rectangle, if it has to extend the shape, it has to put a colon and then you'll have to write shape. Comments are common in both Java and Kotlin. Double slashes will give you one line comment, and slash followed by 2 stars and a slash. And in between those, if you write a comment, it becomes a multi-line comment. So this is about string templates. A is equal to 1, A is A, which means if you run the program, you will get A is 1. Okay. But if A is 2, if you change the value because var keyword is used, and now if you write the same thing, s1 dot replace is was. This is a string and you're replacing is with was, but now it is $A. Okay, this is one string function that we have. So conditional expressions goes this way. If you want to write an if-else block, you write it like this. If a greater than b. Similarly, the same is the case with Java also, right? Same Java syntax. So this is the conditional operator, I would say. Okay, we have conditional operator in Java, right? In the similar way, we have it like this. In a single line, you can write it. For loop by default is for each loop in Kotlin. In Kotlin, for loop is just for each loop in Kotlin. So for item in items, if you have a list of items, you can simply go through all those items and print them. We'll do this example. Looks quite easy, right? You can define a variable a is equal to list of strings, and you write the strings. Pavan, Sarab, Raj, Khan, Sweta, something. Okay. I've taken a few set of lines. Okay. Few set of names. Okay. So the list of should only have val as the keyword since. It is a list of strings. Why is it still? Okay. Sorry. I already have a variable by the name A. I'll say A1 and the error is fixed. Now if you write for A1, sorry, for A in A, or let's say let's see C in A1. If you want to print that C, all the items will be printed line after the line. If you run the program now, so you get all as translator. You can add as many names as you can. Okay. This is about for each loop. While loop works the same way as if it worked in Java. When expression is something different. So when is the replacement for switcher. Okay. So similarly, as switch works, when also works, but we do not have cases. Instead, we can directly write it like this, and write the sentences. For example, if you copy this one and create another file, new Kotlin file. Yeah, Kotlin classer file, practice2. Practice2. No, it is not class. Sorry, it is a file. So we should not have classes here. Okay, remove it. Function, we can paste this function. Sorry, we can paste this function. Now we'll create a function main where from where the program execution starts. And in this function, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call describe 12. So let us see what we will get the output as. You did not get any output because it is returning a string and you are not printing it. So print ln. Now you'll get the output. That is run the program. See, not a string because 12 is not matching with this. It is not matching with hello. Okay, it is not a long value. It is not a string. Okay, that is why they said it is not a string. What if you send? What if you send Akanksha? If you run this, you'll get unknown. Okay. Is not a string is there, but is string is not there. You can also write this like is a string. If it is a string, what do I want to do is I want to print that as string value. Okay. Now you run the program and you'll get the output. See, you got string value as the output because Akanksha is a string. Let us say I'm sending something like 1. Okay. If I run it, now you'll get 1. So any object can be received, guys. Unlike switch statement, any object can be received and you can write multiple cases based on the same. Hope you understood this. So in the similar way, you can also practice the rest of the concepts. The rest of the concepts can also be learned easily. So you also have got Kotlin Playground. There is another way to practice this. Kotlin Playground. If you search for Kotlin Playground, you get playground play.kotlinlang.org where you can directly write the program and execute it. You simply hit on run. You'll get to see the output. Val cannot be reassigned there because val we are trying to reassign A. So if you want to reassign B, that is fine. Now if you run it, you got 95 as the output. So in a similar way, you can remove this and work with other useful or you can write any other code as of your interest. You can also copy the link and share it with your team if at all if you want them to see your program. So this is a nice place to practice Kotlin. Practice Kotlin. Yeah. You need not to install any other third-party software. You have Android Studio, that is sufficient. And if you do not want to work it on Android Studio, you can jump in directly into Kotlin play.kotlinlang.org where you can write the code and get the output easily. That is one. All right. Now we will see how this works as an Android application. How can we build an Android application using Kotlin? So here, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to create a new activity. I can select empty activity. I'll give some names here. For example, I'll say, yeah, main activity. So this activity should be a launcher activity. So select it. And source language is Kotlin and can finish. So if you see, main activity is extending itself to app compat activity, but we do not have extends keyword. We only have a colon. And this app compat activity is not called as a class. It is called as the constructor of app compat activity is called. And the remaining things are the same, one and the same. Now on activity underscore main.xml, I'll design a nice thing. Okay, I just dragged and dropped the text view. Now we can drag and drop a text view. Okay, no problem. Don't worry, we're seeing these kind of errors. First, let us drag and drop a button. Oh, shit, man. No issues. I know how to write the code, so no problem at all. I'll write the code. So you need to have a text view, width to wrap content, height to wrap content, close it. And now you have some sample text displayed on it, which is zero for me. For me, it is zero. You give an ID for the text view. ID, we'll call it result. Okay. Now bring the layout, like a right to the right of layout constraint, right to the right of parent. App late layout left to the left of parent. Left to the left of parent. Top to the top of parent. Top to the top of parent. Sorry, should be parent. Now we need to have two buttons, right? The first button, width is wrap content, height is wrap content. Close it. You give it an ID. The button has to have an ID. ID is button 1. Okay. So here, the top of the button should be matching to the bottom of text view. So the text view is result here. Now left to the left to the left of parent, right to the right of parent. Okay. So in the design, you're not getting any result. Sometimes this is happening for constraint. You have to know, don't really know the reason. Okay, no problem. The code is correct, no problem. Yeah, bottom to the bottom of bottom to the bottom of parent. Okay, what we will do is top to the bottom of text view will remove it. Okay. The similar way, we will also create another button of the same kind. Okay, we want it to the left of the first button. So we'll call it as to left to the left of the first button. Left to the right of. Left to right. ID button 1. Right to the right of parent. And here, right to the right of parent will remove. Okay. Now this text view is there. Na? What we'll write is we'll write bottom to the top of. Bottom to top of ID button 1. Okay. Now we can make this as match constraint. The height you can make it as match constraint. Or you can write it as 0 dp. And width also you can write it as 0 dp. So now increase the text size. Text size is 100 sp. Now let us run this program to see if the code is written correctly or not. Okay. Sometimes cleaning and rebuilding this project will also fetch you exact results. So I'll actually run the application, not practice app 2, and I'll simply hit on run. So in the Visor, I'll actually open this and show it to you, how the UI is going to look like. Okay, nice. The output is good. So we'll have some text displayed on button one. We'll call it text is equal to. So on button one, we'll call it as plus. Okay. On button two, we'll have the same thing. Okay, we got the layout now. On button two, what we will do is we'll call it as minus. Okay. Now these two buttons, now we can go to the design part of it. This text view is occupying full space. Now we can actually select these two buttons, right click and go to change and create a horizontal chain. Now you can have the first button to occupy the fullest width by 2 taps. The second button also you can tap on it twice. Okay, nice, fantastic, mind-blowing, and unbelievable. Now this text has to come to the center. So if it has to come to the center, you select the text view and write the gravity attribute value. This is the same design that we did, correct? So you can make it bold. This one already we worked with, but now we are seeing how to work with Kotlin. We also have this text view, and you can scroll down a little bit. You see it can be bolded. Okay, nice. It's good for me. So how do we get this into action? So in Kotlin, we have this val tv of type text view, which is equal to find v by id. FVB will give you find v by id r dot id dot a result. In the similar way, you can also have val button v1 of type button, and that is equal to FVB find v by id r dot id dot button 1. Similarly, val b2 of button is equal to find v by id r dot id dot button 2. Okay. Now we can have v1 dot set on click listener. Sorry, v1 dot on click listener or set on. Yeah, we have set on click listener here. So in between this, you can write whatever you want to. In a similar way, for B2, you can have it like set on click listener. Set on click listener. You can write whatever you want to execute when button 2 is pressed. See, when button 1 is pressed, you can do something, and button 2 is pressed, you can do some other thing. So I want to have a global variable called var count of type integer is equal to 0. So this count value can be increased or decreased. Count plus plus would increase the score. Okay, count minus minus would decrease the score. Now, either of the cases, you need to show the value on the text view. So TV or text. We need not to write set text method. We can directly use text. You can write string dot value of. You can simply write string of count. Simple. No. Okay. Count dot toString. This one you can do. In the similar way, tv dot text is equal to count dot toString. That's it. Now you can run the application and see, but both the buttons will get into action on a nice design. So when you hit on minus, the value is getting decremented. When you hit on plus, the value is getting incremented. All right. So this is how you can create Kotlin apps easily. Now you may ask me, Pavan, previously what you did was, whenever you created these kind of views, you created them on global declaration section. Is that not possible? Yes, it is possible. However, if you are declaring var or val, if it is var tv of type text view, You cannot equate it to null because Kotlin is null safe. So you should have a question mark here. In a similar way, where v1 of type button question mark is equal to null. The same way, where v2 of type button question mark is equal to null. Otherwise, they will not be initialized to null. Now you do not need them at all. So text view is not needed here. You can directly initialize it. Here also, you do not need this val. You can directly initialize this. For var also, yeah, because there is a var there. You can directly initialize. Okay, we define it as val, let us see. Should have to cast it to text view. One to text view. You can cast it also like this. Text view. Find view by ID. Get paste. Example. Similar with button can be casted to button. Okay. So I forgot how to do this actually. Let's leave it normally. Start a big tree. But that is how you can create global variables. Okay. Oh no. Is equal to count.toString. Okay. So you got the point, right? How to define the variables and how to work with it. The output would not change. You will get the same output as you have seen already. If you hit on plus, the value is incremented. If you hit on minus, the value is decremented. And if you want to further explore Kotlin, Google Android Developer Fundamentals using Kotlin. If you type it, you get to see Programming Fundamentals Kotlin for Android developers. Okay. So there are 6 units in total. All the 6 units you can try. If you explore Kotlin basics. So you get to see this nice tutorials available for you. And work around with these things. I'm again pasting this in the classroom. Learn to create Android apps using Kotlin. Apps using Kotlin. I'm also adding this link here. Please try to use it. Okay. So let me see your repository at bucket.org.com. So this takes us to the end of the week course. Right? Okay. Yeah. So you have got everything in here. The notes is also quite updated. Is good, fully updated. You've got my ebook also. Okay. Please utilize these resources. The classroom link also I'll give it here so that it will be easy for you to access the classroom link. You'll have to edit this. Readme.md. Edit. More links here. Or else let's say Google Classroom link for the entire course. That's it. I can make a comment. Yeah, Google Classroom link is also been added. Yes. Okay. So it's got everything, almost everything. The few initial classes were not given here. From Recycler view, I've been adding all the things here. Okay. Did I add my email ID here? I don't think so. Need to add it. So if you ever have a doubt and you're stuck at any when you're stuck at any point, so let me give my email ID because in the future, if you have a doubt, if you do not know where to go, you can simply contact me. I'll try my best to help you out. Okay. It is not that for every scenario I'll be able to help you. That won't be possible for anybody. But I'll try my best to give you my best. Okay. So let us keep in touch, guys. I am in touch with all the most of the students after the sessions also. But this group, you do not like talk. You do not talk. Okay. Email me, and there is a problem. Okay. My email ID is Pavan Kumar pavankireddy.gmail.com. Yes, please do email me whenever there is a doubt. Okay. If that is serious, we'll also talk about it. No issues. I want you to be in comfort and I hope you enjoyed these sessions. Right. So, whatever the assignments that I gave you, if you practice this, you'll definitely get a job. Like, if you are interested to be an Android developer in the industry, these concepts are very much essential. And I've taught you all those concepts, right? Please go through the interview preparation guide. Um, there are many guides available on Google. You can try them out and give interviews. All right. If you want to be a freelancer, go register on link freelancer.com, upwork.com, people per hour, all these websites. And one more interesting website we have is Turing.com. Okay. So Turing.com is a global recruiter. You'll be working online from the comfort of your home, but you'll be paid a lot. So they'll conduct a few tests. If you're qualifying in that test, you can actually get a job from leading MNCs, and you can have your life you wish for. I'm not promoting this anyway. I'm just curious to let you know this thing. Let me push the last change of the course to the repository. Let me first pull the changes, and then we can do it. Git pull origin main master. Git add dot git commit push origin master. Okay. Origin main master. All right. So the last commit is been made. Thank you so much, guys. You've been very nice audience to me. However, I recommend you to please take a note of my mobile number. Sorry, not mobile number, sorry. Email ID and contact me if there is a need. I'll definitely try my best to help you out. Okay. Keep in touch and also explore more concepts. Not the end of the picture. There are still more concepts that you can explore. Please do that. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Good day. Bye bye.